I already prepped my skin with skincare, so that's why it looks a little bit glowy, but that's not enough glow for me. I really like my makeup to look glowy and dewy, so I'm gonna go in with a glowy primer. This one's from Saie. It's their Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow. I love this baby right here, and even though it doesn't advertise to like fill in your pores and like blur out your texture, it does that. I'm gonna show you guys the glow that this gives you right now. And do you guys see that? Yes, this is an intense glow, but I promise you it's gonna make your makeup look so good. I personally don't like dry matte makeup looks. I feel like it doesn't work for my skin, even though I do have oily to combo skin, so you would think that I want to mattify my skin. But I've tried both makeup looks, matte and then glowy, and glowy just always looks better. Let's move on to foundation. I'm gonna use the House Labs foundation. This is Lady Gaga's makeup brand. I have mine in the shade 260 Light Medium Cool, which I know is a little confusing because cool usually means pink undertones, but in their line, cool means warm. There's somewhere online, I don't know if it's their website or their Instagram page, that actually explains how to pick up your shade. But honestly, I just read the description of the coloring online on the Sephora website, and it just so happens to be my perfect match. Now, I do need to pick up another shade because this is not going to match me when I'm tanned, but in the meanwhile, it matches me perfectly. I like to put foundation on the back of my hand and then use my finger to spread it out. This is how you get the most coverage out of your foundation. If you don't really care for coverage, then you can definitely go in with your beauty blender or your brush directly into the foundation. But spreading it with your fingers first is going to give you maximum coverage. I don't like to apply foundation directly on my nose or my forehead, and I know that's a little bit weird, but there's a reason for it. So you have to do whatever works for you. For me personally, my forehead just is too like wrinkly, and the less product you use, the more it's going to look. So when I apply foundation on my forehead, it just looks really cakey and not natural. So I never apply it there. And on my nose, I always just apply whatever is excess left over from my foundation on my brush or my beauty blender. If I try to apply foundation directly on my nose, it always separates no matter what, especially because I am oily skin. So that's what works for me, but you obviously do whatever works for you. To blend out my foundation, I'm going to be using the BK Beauty 101 foundation brush. I am obsessed with these brushes from BK Beauty. They are so good. I'm probably going to be using all of the ones that I have in this makeup video just to show you guys how good they are. This is not sponsored, by the way. Now that I finished blending out my foundation, whatever is left over is what I'm going to take on my nose. Moving along to concealer, I've really been loving mixing different concealers. So this one's from Too Faced Born This Way, Huda Beauty, and the Hourglass concealer. These have been my go-to lately. First, I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass concealer, which is so amazing, but the trick is to not use a lot. Every time I try to use a lot of this or I apply too much, it doesn't look good. So the trick is honestly to just use a little bit. To blend out my concealer, I'm gonna use the BK Beauty A506 brush. Being that I already concealed my under eyes with the Hourglass concealer, I don't need a lot of the Too Faced one. The purpose of this is simply to just brighten up my under eyes, and I'm gonna do it on one side so you guys can see the difference. This just looks more awake, more brightened, more professional. I just realized that I forgot to fill in my eyebrows, and I usually do that first even before foundation. So let's do that now. I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel in the new version. I've been loving it. I know I'm looking a little flat right now, but we're going to bring back some dimension with bronzer. This is by Mario, and it is their Soft Scope Transforming Skin Enhancer. You want to use all of your cream products before setting your face and applying powder products. You don't want to bring your bronzer all the way up to here because then your face is just going to look muddy. You want to keep it back here by the cheekbone. And before I go in with my powdered products, I'm going to set my face with the Sephora Micro Smooth Collection in the shade 30 Sand. I'm going to focus this powder everywhere except for under my eyes because I have a little bit of a different process for setting my under eyes. Okay, now to set my under eyes, first I'm going to go in with the brush again and make sure that there's no creases because obviously you don't want to set the creases. So I'm going to look up, get rid of any creasing. Then I'm going to go in with this brush from Real Techniques. Go back into the Sephora powder and use that to set my under eyes. I'm gonna set my under eyes one eye at a time so you guys can see the difference. So this is just with using the Micro Smooth powder on one eye. And now I'm going to finish off what I like to do, which is using a powder puff to then go in with the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. The top did come off, but nonetheless, it is a $5 powder that is so amazing. You guys are gonna see right now. It really brightens up your under eyes. I'm gonna tap off any extra excess on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna go in with my under eye. Hopefully the camera can pick up how flawless this side looks compared to this one. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye and come right back. For powdered bronzer, I'm going to use the one from Haus Labs. It is in the shade Light Level 3. For blush, I'm going to be using my favorite duo from Juvia's Place, and I think I'm going to use this baby pink color in the bottom. Juvia's Place is known for very pigmented blushes, but that's because they want their blushes to show up on darker skin complexions as opposed to other brands. So I love that about them. So if you have a lighter skin tone like myself, you can still use Juvia's Place, but just make sure to use a lighter hand. For today's lip combo, I'm going to use Cork from MAC. This is the classic. And then I'm going to use the ABH Lip Velvet in the shade Crush. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.